Hello, my name is Pariyagama Pentong. I am a Mathematics 2 student from Brichanusa School.
I'm Chanung Suditwaja from Batum 5/1, Brichanusa School.
I'm Isabel Rain Montalvo from Secondary 5 from IEP.
I'm Thitipong Katkao from Sathit IEP, Mathayom 5.
Okay, they are my special guests today, and today we are going to talk about the perspective on Thai education. So, what is your perspective on Thai education? Do you like it or not?
Well, I think we like it, but we still can, adjust something that can be improved our education level to meet the requirement that the other nations take.
Yeah, in my perspective, like Thailand could be so much better than this, but I'm not saying their education system is bad. It just could be better.
And you, the only Prathom student here,
The Thai education should have more activities so that the students will not boring.
Okay. So you said that Thai education could be improved more, and how can we improve that?
First, we need to fix the curriculum of the study. Like, we can get the new form of curriculum from another nations to mix with our regular one to improve a lot, and then get more activities in, to get the student interest. Like if the student have the interest, they will just learn what the teacher said, and then we could have tons of experience.
Yeah, I think he stole what I was going to say.
Well,
I was going to say like the first step to improving is improving the students' interest in education. Because of course, like if you're bored, like what's your worst subject? Your worst subject, the subject that you hate the most.
It could be social study.
Yeah, you hate social studies, right? Like you find it hard to study for that, right? Whenever you have exams, you're like, social studies. Like I really don't want to study. So it makes it hard for you to learn in that subject, right? So if we fix that problem, for example, for me, like I like chemistry. I find studying for chemistry like really, really fun. For example, if I study for a subject that I hate, I would only spend like 30 minutes studying. But for chemistry, I can go 4 hours studying without any interruptions.
because her goal is to invent something to the chemistry field so that they can have more stuff to study in the future. And then how about yours?
I think so with her.
So you think that Thai education is not good enough because of this curriculum? Only curriculum?
Yeah, but in my perspective, I think the curriculum is also, and the student, if the teachers have our interesting, we can just go with the curriculum.
And how about teacher?
Teacher, well, in our school or in most of the Thai school, they just teach what they have in the book, right?
Yes.
Just read to the student and then they get what they have to study and then take exam and then forget about it, like you say. So if we have something that could, get their interest, like a story or something that we can do in a class, it will get the student interest and then they could have more fun to study with the enthusiastic, and some kind of that stuff.
So the teachers, right? Yeah, there are good teachers and there are bad teachers. You know who they are. The good teachers, yeah. Usually you find the good teachers, like, they make the subject interesting. Like, you have fun while learning. And the bad teachers are like, just open your book to page 121 and then follow after me. Like, just read word for word, which you can do by yourself at home, right? You don't have to wake up and go to school for it. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the teachers should, like, capture the student's imagination so that instead of just following the teacher, they can actually like think of new ideas by themselves. And then like that would make the class so much more easier and much more fun.
So for me, I think the bad part of Thai education is student. Thai student didn't have outstanding. They just sit there, listen to the teachers, read the book, and do what teacher want they to do. If they have a question, they're not brave to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I find in my class why they didn't want to ask the teacher is because they're friends. If they ask the teacher, the friends will just staring at them and just like, oh, you're stupid. You
Yeah.
cannot understand what teacher says. It's so easy.
Yeah.
So that's what's make Thai education is not good enough.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, like asking questions is not a bad thing. It shows that you actually want to learn more, right? Okay, how about you?
If you're brave enough to ask the question, right, you will just know that topic forever.
Yes, sure. And you?
I think with him and her.
Okay. So, how about the exam? Do you think that it's good or bad, too hard or too easy?
The exam goes with the curriculum too. If the field of study now, we have wide and tons of topic to study, but the depth of the study is not that really deep. You know, you study that topic, right, and then these are the things that you're going to read for the exam. But actually, you could extend more into this depth. Yeah, and then cover the overall topic, which you can apply in the exam more. And then the exam should be more like asking for the student critical thinking, not only the formula and then you solve the problem. That is not really practical thing.
Yeah, like exams are the worst. Like when you think of an exam, you think a written exam, like a paper, right? And for that, you have to study like memorizing everything, like 10 pages, 20 pages in a book. And I think that exams don't have to be on paper. You can have a speaking exam, or like if you're in a science class, you can perform an experiment in front of a class or in front of the teacher. Like that can count as an exam. Because if it's a paper exam, people are just going to memorize, and like after 3 days, you forget everything, right?
And then they can cheat too, right?
Yeah.
If we have a one-on-one interview, that's going to be more effective to test the knowledge of the student, because they can't expect what the teacher will ask, but you just cover of the topic that they study, and then you apply that in the answer in your interview.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot better.
So, I knew that you're Filipino, right?
Yes.
Have you ever studied in Philippines?
Yeah, but it was a very long time ago. I studied there until I was in primary 2.
And what is the differences between Thai education and Filipino education?
I think the biggest difference for me was the time spent at school. In the Philippines, like you can choose to go only in the morning or only in the afternoon. But here in Thailand, you have to go the whole day, which I find very stressful. Because like, if you have, for example, in the Philippines, you have like around 6 hours at most in school. If you only have that much time at school, then you have another like 18 hours to sleep, go do your homework, relax, and like basically just remove the stress accumulated from studying. Because when you hear, I noticed that a lot of Thai students take extra classes, right? Do you guys take extra classes?
I do.
You do?
For
Do you?
I don't.
Do you? You do. See, a lot of Thai students take extra classes. So, like, for example, you say you stay in school for 8 hours, and then another hour or 2 hours for extra class. That's like 10 hours of your day out of 24 hours. That is almost one half of your day. And then you have to spend 8 hours sleeping. That's 4 hours left, which is by then you'd be too tired to do anything, right? Like all you want to do is watch TV. You have no more motivation to learn more, like to review what you've learned, to think of anything else that you can connect with what you've learned already. So yeah, that's the biggest difference for me. But as Marissa said before, like sometimes like if you get a shorter time for school, yeah, some students aren't responsible enough for that. Like they use the rest of their time to do drugs, do bad things. Some even like commit crimes already. So yeah, it depends on the student on how much time should be spent in school.
I like your idea, but if we just reduce the time of the study, like 3 periods of the study, and then after the whole afternoon period, you just do for your club.
Yeah,
About the
clubs
club.
are good.
And then,
yes.
and then the teacher can then establish a club that the student like, so we can enjoy what are we doing, right? And then we hopefully we can apply it in the future too, right? Like music club, dancing club, or writing club, something like that. In our school we have music club which we can enjoy, and then we can perform in our school work or stuff, right? And the dancing too, which is useful in our life too.
Recreational things.
Yes, and that is more interesting than
Study.
studying and then just now bored and then get to sleep while your teacher is teaching. Yeah, that is not practical thing.
So, from that opinion, Thai education is not good enough because of the curriculum and the time that we spend in school only on studying, listening, and reading without any activities to improve our recreation. So, do you guys have anything to tell?
I do.
on.
In my perspective, to improve the education, we should do 2 things. Talk with the teacher, which you can say that teacher would have something more to get the interest of the student. And then the student, I want to ask you something. Do you have enough motivation to study? If you don't have, find one, and then you enjoy study for the whole life.
Okay. So I guess one last message would be don't be afraid to ask the teacher if you don't understand anything. Because the only person who's losing is you, because you're paying for school. And if you don't get the most out of it, it's just a waste of time. No matter how long you spend studying, if you don't understand it, that's it. You don't know anything.
You have anything?
No.
Okay, so thank you for joining us today. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank